Hey folks, everything new under the sun. This is absolutely crazy. This is a tweet by Douglas McGregor. NATO now planning to get U.S. troops to the front lines to fight Russia. And this is apparently from details shared by officials with the Telegraph newspaper. NATO has disclosed its preparations to deploy American troops to the European front lines in the event of a full-scale conflict with Russia. Innovative land corridors, which you see in the image, are being established to expedite the movement of soldiers through Central Europe, bypassing local bureaucratic hurdles. The strategic setup enables NATO forces to swiftly react to Putin's aggressive actions in Ukraine and extend westward. Reports suggest that these plans also encompass provisions for potential Russian attacks. In such scenarios, troops could mobilize through corridors in Italy, Greece, and Turkey to reach the Balkans, or alternatively advance towards Russia's northern border via Scandinavia. Now, this is that's a tweet again. There's a Zero Hedge article speaking to this. Report details U.S. troop land corridors in the event of a European ground war with Russia. The land corridors can be used to rush 300,000 troops, mostly American soldiers, it says, to the front lines to defend against a Russian invasion. Folks, I don't know how much closer you have to be to World War III for really the mainstream media to wake up, for the regular person to wake up and say, we are going there, and no one is saying a thing. This is not in mainstream media news. This is not in the headlines. We're going to be thrust into World War III with nuclear weapons being dropped. There was an article, see if I can pull it up here, that again Russia came out threatening the use of nuclear weapons, nuclear bombs. Let's see. Where is it? So 900,000 reservists in Germany being called up, and then a confirmation of the fact that Russia could use nuclear weapons if NATO doesn't back off, and that was by Medvedev. I think it was saying that. And let me just go to this one here. I think it was Medvedev that was suggesting that. But, I mean, Putin has come out and said it himself that, you know what, NATO's not backing off. So we may first do a demonstration nuclear weapon. And if NATO doesn't back off, then we will use nuclear weapons on the field in Ukraine. This is crazy, folks. Now, the article in Zero Hedge says this. In the wake of the Telegraph report, some pundits are saying this means World War III is, quote, starting now, end quote. And while indeed at this point the world could already be witnessing the beginning phases, especially when historians look back, there's yet some escalatory steps remaining before missiles start flying over Europe. Yes, this is the Archduke Ferdinand moment. When historians look at it 10, 15, 20, 50 years later, what are they going to report as the start of it? And this could be it. The fact that they're suggesting that, this could be the start of World War III. This telegraphing, if you will, to the Telegraph, the plans by NATO to get troops through land corridors to the front lines. This is absolutely insane. And they're saying this means World War III is starting. Now, it started when Russia invaded Ukraine because they've never really looked for peace, never significantly looked for peace, and they've been moving ahead and pushing for World War III, pushing every button against Russia that they can to try and get Russia to make a move. NATO doesn't want to throw the first punch. They want to, they want plausible deniability. And if it goes to nuclear war, which I think they're hoping for, I think there's a lot of money in it, then they can say, well, it wasn't our fault. We didn't start the war. Russia started it, right? So they're waiting for Russia. They're poking the eye of the bear, and both eyes. They're poking it as fast as they can to see if they can get Russia to strike first, and then give them the green light to go in, without them saying that they started it. But folks, I would say And this is going to be banned when World War III starts, because there's going to be propaganda, there's going to be narrative, and people who don't go along with the government line and toe the line are going to be silenced. I will be censored. But I believe that it is NATO that seems to be pushing this along from the information I read on both sides. And there's a lot of financial incentive as well. Just like there was during the pandemic, there was a lot of incentive to push a particular narrative. And, anyways, I won't go further into that, but be prepared. I think this is going to come. I think this is going to. You can see the thing in the back. I'm just looking at the article there. This is. Let me go like this here. Here is the article. Zero Hedge Land Corridors. So you can go to Zero Hedge and find this one of the latest articles. Go to War News 247 as well. And here's the tweet by Douglas McGregor there that I'm showing there. So you can see the text of it there. But again, folks, be prepared. This has already started. It's just that most citizens don't know. They're not aware because mainstream hasn't told them. They're waiting, for mainstream to tell them that it's started. And so this is the time to go buy your toilet paper. Just like I said in the community post or whatever, this happened prior to the pandemic. I was saying, go get toilet paper. It's going to run out as soon as people are locked in their houses. Well, when World War III starts, it's not only toilet paper, it's everything, because most of our things come from overseas. Toilet paper is actually one of the things that is made locally because of all the pulp and paper. But when it comes to any electronics, any parts for cars, for vehicles, for even bicycles, most of them come from overseas, from Europe, mostly from China. China is a massive manufacturing hub, and even if it comes from Taiwan or South Korea, other locations, even anywhere in Europe, it doesn't matter. You're probably not going to be getting that product because the supply chains are going to be broken, and those countries are going to be fully war mobilized, and all the companies contracted, to the government to create munitions for war or whatever it may be. Right, so you're not going to be getting things at the store anymore. Toilet paper may be one of those only things that you can get this time around, which is interesting. So I'll leave it there. Breaking news coming out of Zero Hedge, War News 247, and The Telegraph.